Hello, Flavilla. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Tracy. How are you?
I'm okay, and I'm so pleased that you managed to carve out time in your diary to speak to me, as I'd love to hear so much about what you do in Black Women in Tech and appreciate all the work that you are doing. So
Mhm.
I'd love to just start with right at the start. Like, what gave you the idea of creating Black Women in Tech, and how did it all come about?
Yes, great question. I met Russ for a private event, as I mentioned that a few times. But after coming to this private event and meeting him, that's when I started attending the different chapters and see what they were doing. So it was tech creatives that I used to go to. So I didn't go to all of them. I went to one that was relevant to what I was after and aligned with what I was trying to achieve. And after coming to this event and realizing we have a black woman in this room. And I was like, okay, maybe it's just this specific topic. And let me go to another event. It's like, where are the black women? There was one, two, oh, it's always the same people. And I went to a person and said, like, where are the, I feel like something is missing. And he said to me, I know. And you know, when you look at somebody and look in the eyes, like, I know what you're going to tell me, but I hope that you take over this. Is that I'm going to do it. And we sat down and discuss. And I think what I love about him is that he sat down and discussed like if you really want to do this, be committed. Because don't start if you're not ready to do that. It's not an easy peasy thing. Say, listen, I am committed. And then after that, he gave me the at the time Tech London Advocates Black Women in Tech. And he said, this is your brand. There you go. You have my support. Whatever you do, I'll be there. And I remember he said to me that, okay, so when you do your event, you're opening your launch event, if you have about 40 people, that'd be great. In my head, I'm thinking, I'm planning to have 200 people. What are you talking about? So then never mind. So then, obviously, the day of the launch, we had over 200 people in the room. We
Wow.
were hosted by Arbuthnot and Latham, which is a family office.
Yeah.
It was such a beautiful thing. And it was first time we saw so many black people in technology. And so I realized, oh my God, this is the beginning of a great story. And people just needed this. And especially you had UK Black Tech. But UK Black Tech, it's interesting because the leader will influence the audience that you attract as well. So Mark, the urban teacher, was attracting a lot of men, and me being a black woman named Tech London Advocates Black Women, I would attract a lot of black women, which was also the nature there. And this is how I started. And then one thing that I did what was also be consistent because I'm a marketing person by background. So people knew that every Thursday, the last Thursday of every month was a networking event and we being hosted for free by company in different locations. People would come on a regular basis. That was their space. Safe
Mhm.
space to say something that they could not say to anybody. Or it's really hard to talk to if you are in a room full of men and talk about something that's about, your time of the month, they look at you like, I cannot help you. This is not my topic. Or if you talk about being black and having to deal with microaggression, you can talk to another black woman who tell you how she managed to navigate this. And that was important. But also for black women who were thinking about joining technology, didn't know how to get. And that was important. We realized that we created a safe space for them to be able to just let it out. And people just let it out, some tears. And
Wow, really?
yeah, we're tears. So people were just like, I'm so glad I found you. And even when we carry on doing our event through COVID, say, if I didn't find you through COVID, I probably would have gone through depression. We realized we're onto something here. We were just building something that was needed. People didn't know they
Helpful.
needed. Yeah, people didn't need it needed. Beyond just talking about technology, there was sisterhood that was needed. And then, yeah, the rest was history.
Wow, so you already answered a question that I wanted to ask next, which is what makes Black women tech so attractive? Like, who does it attract?
Mm.
Who is it for, and what do they get out of it?
Yes. The Black Women in Tech is for anybody who's interested in being part and connecting with Black women. So you don't have to be a Black woman to join Black Women in Tech. And we have men who come to our event. We are all sorts of ethnicity who come to our event. Majority will be Black women and also sometimes Black men as well. But majority will be Black women. And it's really for anybody who is trying to navigate that space in technology, say, how can I do it either as a professional or as an entrepreneur? So I want to find investors or I want to like this. We don't have all the answers, but what we do, like what the essence of TLA is, GGA is that we'll connect you to the right person who can help you, who knows about it. And the more you come on a regular basis, the more you meet interesting people. And if I think about my success and what I've achieved, it's only happened because of the people who are in this network.
Yes.
people who are part of of a
GTA,
community,
yeah.
women that we spotlighted in our books. They were working for government sector, or I work for government sector, I was figure out how government can help you. I work for HSBC, I'm going to figure out how HSBC help you. I'm going to do that. So they understood we give them, by giving them that sisterhood and that network, they felt much stronger. They
Yes.
felt empowered to do more. And so
Strong together.
this
Yes.
is what I talk about when I talk about ecosystem. What Vitili and GTA gives you is that knock-on effect that you give in return, that person gives you back, and and then you grow, and both of you grow together.
Yeah.
The thing about everything I've achieved is because the majority was an ally, or and also a lot of Black women who say, "Wow, you're giving me a legacy by being in this book. I have to figure out how I can pass it on for next year. Somebody else is in the book as well, and so forth." And that's a beautiful thing that we've done. And if the money that we made been reutilized to do even more, to get more Black women in technology, get more Black women to find the support that they need, and the guidance.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. It's so important for everyone to hear this and also for people that are within the community to appreciate what they've got. This is really good. So if it wasn't for you, Flavilla, we wouldn't have it. So I'd love to be able to hear then, off the back of that, great milestones and memorable experiences you've had with Black women in tech and the GTA community.
Yes, so many great milestones, but I think the one of the probably one of the most exciting milestones that we had was probably in one of the hardest time of the organization was COVID,
Yeah.
because COVID forced everybody to pivot. We could not meet, and we were Tech London Advocates was an in-person event. We were just doing pure networking. Every man was just networking in London. And we had people who travel outside London and come to our events. I was like, oh my gosh, we can never change the dates, because imagine people will buy a ticket, flight ticket from
Wow.
the different location to come. Just I have to be here at your event because I heard so many great things. I love the energy. And then when COVID happened, it kind of forced us to pivot. So, okay,
Hmm.
what do we do? So we just said, okay, we're going to go online. That was by far one of the most important part of things that we've done, because now I realize this turned us into a global entity. Because people
Wow.
could sign up from anywhere in Africa. People would sign up and join us in Africa. People would join us in America. People would join us across Europe. Say, I come from this country. I sign up from this country. It was like, wow, this is beautiful. And he realized that we could not, going back after COVID to what we used to go before, we could not go back to where it was. We had to
Yeah.
maintain that online and offline activity. And by doing this as well, we were meeting women. Well, how come you've been in the tech industry for 10 years or 20 years? I've never heard from you. I
Yeah.
started to realize that those legacy were being lost because I didn't realize that my success or my career could inspire somebody else who don't see. And also as a Black woman, you've normalized being the only Black woman in rooms. Like, okay, well, that's all I know. I'm always going to be the only one, and I will thrive no matter what, right? I will just do what I have to do no matter what. And then and this is what then inspired the book. So there's been a lot of milestones that happened from the challenges that sometimes world put in front of us, and how do you pivot. So the
Yeah.
first pivot has been COVID. Realize that we have to go global. Then going global put us in front of a lot of women who had years of experience. Says, wow, there's some legacy here that need to be saved. Because if those stories, the power of stories. So when you see the power of stories, so how can we just seal them and have those stories as well, archive at the British Library? That's a big deal, you know. And then doing this again, doing this book, realize, wow, there's a lot of women who are now in tech and say, I want to figure out how I can do this. How can I get into technology? Then I was like, also have to be the teachers. And then
Yeah.
this is where we are right now.
Role models. Yes.
Yes. And now in our last milestone right now is that we have to teach people how to transition. I mean, I'm a nurse. How do I become in tech? I'm a mom. I don't want to go back to, you have a mortgage to pay. How do you transition into tech without having to lose the money that you're making? And that's what we're doing right now, teaching women how to transition when you've been in the industry and you've been in a professional career for years.
Wow, that's excellent. Thank you so much. So I'd love to also hear, with all the work that you're doing, some successful collaborations that you've done across the GTA community, because I know that you started small, but you've grown, but also you've
Yeah.
done things with other um, groups. So it'd be good to hear some of those stories.
Yeah. Everything has been very organic. It's never been in a sense that we forced it,
Yes.
but very much we saw the opportunity, we expanded on it. So again, as I said, when we started war in London, and then going online, put us in front of people who are around the world. And then the first entry was in Ireland, where
Yes.
somebody was in Ireland, I love what you're doing. I want Accenture to come and get involved with you. And I started doing some work with Accenture and said that we actually have to have a chapter there as well. And then we
Excellent.
launched it. And then with France was a natural, natural for me because I'm French, and I realized also how I can take that Frenchness of me in France, where talking about D&I is even more taboo.
Really?
And if somebody can do it, it's me. And again, something utilizing my connection in France to then open a chapter in France. And then also it's been beautiful to see the women from different chapters wanted to also collaborate. So, or either speak on their stages or they speak on my at my events, and that desire to just give. And I've given to Janet. Janet has always been super collaborative and open to always hear the voices of different women. So I've given talk at International Women's Day for women, and some of them that I met again when she's in a beautiful event in Copenhagen, and women in person. I can remember you, when you talk at that event 3 years
Yes.
ago. I still remember what you said. In my head, thinking, I don't remember what I say. I speak so much. It's just like you said that, like, if you're the only person in the room, you're meant to be here. And a lot of them took this word as like, I want to go for this. I'm going to be the only person in the room, but I'm going to take this as my superpower. And
Oh, wow.
you really realize
Inspired
that,
a lot in tech and audit advocates. That's great.
yes, I mean, it's one of them. There's so many, like, we've obviously the first chapter, how we collaborate, merge, and do some things as well. So there's been a lot of beautiful things. And also, this would have, being able to speak on London Tech Week was happened because of Russ opening the doors. They said, like, we need to have, Chiche Black women tech talk about the perception of what it is to be a Black woman in the tech industry, and how people can, not just my story, but how others can benefit from this as well. So it's been great.
Excellent. That's so helpful to hear. And it's so good to hear how you've also been able to just organically grow and collaborate. So that's the key thing that everyone's got to hear around the way the network works in a very friendly and open manner. So that's helpful to hear. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that.
One advice I would say to people is that change is inevitable. It's your duty to learn how to pivot, right?
Yeah.
Now in the era where AI is disrupting everything, you cannot say, "Oh, I reject." No, you have to figure out how do I pivot with this.
Yes.
Something like
How
that.
do we all grow? Yes.
How we go. And tech industry is probably one of the most innovative, so you have to learn to pivot very fast.
Definitely. So a couple of questions end to end on. One is, what do you think, from your perspective, or how do you think GTA is actually helping shape the global tech ecosystem?
It's a great question. And when I was starting, as I said, there was no network specifically for
Mhm.
Black women tech and technology. And I think people didn't believe in our relevance because they could not see us. And
Yeah.
we became the largest network. And people are, wow, okay,
Wow. Yeah.
so you guys are there. We can't ignore you. I say, yes, you cannot ignore us because we're
Yeah.
definitely there. And oh my gosh, the number of things that I had when I started, like, oh, there's not going to be enough. You're not going to have this. And, if you look at what we have, the following that we have on socials, we passed with 16,000. So it's definitely an interest.
Wow.
And it's definitely people
Amazing. Well
there,
done.
right? So, and if you look at this and you take those facts in consideration, it's important for the advancement of technology in the right way.
Yes,
It's
definitely.
important that we have voices from different perspectives when we talk about what we want the future of tech to be.
Hmm.
Otherwise, the only thing that's going to do is it's going to create more division in that space, and we really want to avoid that. So having the opportunity for Russ to give me a spotlight to be able to speak and give my perspective was important, but also a perception where we haven't seen it, right? So it was like, oh, can you be black and have and also contribute? Yes, I can be more than black and can also contribute to the technology space. Not saying that everybody is narrow-minded, but unconsciously, certain things that preconceived ideas that we have, they're shaped because of what we know. And
Yes.
having that in place to give people a different perspective of, wow, this is what they're doing in that space is so important. And I've met so many, and this is one thing that I'm so passionate about. I meet people from the Black community who have so much knowledge and
Yes, definitely.
expertise. The talent is there. People
Exactly.
who need easy opportunities. That's it.
That's really great. Thank you for everything you're doing. It's so important. And I think it's so important to shape the tech ecosystem in the way that it's inclusive, so and accessible, right, for everyone.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And I just wanted to end then with a call to action. So just for to share with everyone, how do they join Black Women in Tech? And what do you want to see from them and what do they stand to gain? So that's that two-way.
Yeah, it's
Um,
very easy. You find us on socials or you just type the Black Women in Tech. We're the first one on Google and it's free. You just create your account for free. As soon as you create your account, you will find there's a library of content. You can go back and watch some of the past videos. You can go and see all the events that you can join as well that are there, what's upcoming. You can connect with Black women and so forth. So again, something we want to make sure that there's no money is not a gatekeeper to what we have to offer. And this is why we've created this. So it's free. Find us. We there. We're accessible. We do event on a regular basis. You know, there's events happening in October. This month we're doing some. Every month there's something happening. So there's one thing that you will gain whether you are in person in the UK or you outside. You will always find your place. And that's one thing we say, like we global, so we're there, so find us and connect and figure out how you can be part of this and do more than just um be more than just a member.
yes.
We're always looking for ambassadors, people who want to we want to spotlight people, we want to create more leaders, we want to take on our mission. We want to have chapters all around the world of Black Women in Tech. So if you're interested in creating your chapter of GT Black Women in Tech, please come and we can support you. We can tell you we've done it. We've created the methodology. We guide you. You can just have the guidance of how you can create and how we've done it. And that's something that we are right now. We are in that phase where we want to help women create their Black Women Tech chapter with us. So wherever you are in Rwanda, in Ghana, in Miami, come and reach us and say, and I'm going to create my chapter and we'll guide you through how to do it with us and we can support
Excellent.
you. Yeah.
That's a really good call to action to leave everyone with. So I really appreciate your time today, Flavilla. It's really interesting to hear the story and what you are doing to help everyone in an inclusive and accessible way. So I really appreciate the work that you do and appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Appreciate you too.